Good morning, children. So now we are going to discuss another topic, that is cyclotron. So in the case of a cyclotron means it is a device used to accelerate positively charged particles like alpha particles or a proton and acquiring sufficient amount of energy. So such types of devices is known as a cyclotron. It is basically a particle accelerator, positively charged particle accelerator. The basic principle of a cyclotron is when a charged particle is moving in a combined electric field and a magnetic field, it gets accelerated and the particles are acquiring sufficient amount of energy. So let us see how this device is working. So you can see that this is the diagrammatic representation of cyclotron we can represent. So it is consists of a two hollow semicircular disc. We can mention this disc as D1 and D2. Like this way we can mention these two discs as D1 and D2. These are known as Ds. D1 and D2 are known as Ds. Semicircular disc only. These are known as Ds. And these Ds are connected to a high frequency oscillator which is providing this electric field across these Ds, D1 and D2. Similarly, entire arrangement is enclosed in a magnetic field. So that means uniform magnetic field is experiencing on this. The situation is this charged particle is placed in a uniform combined electric field and magnetic field. Combined electric field and magnetic field. So of course it gets accelerated, acquiring the sufficient amount of energy. So you see that these are the two Ds, D1 and D2, which are considered as a hollow semicircular disc only. And in between these two Ds, so there is a small gap is provided for the source, which is giving positive charge particles. And once these charge particles are getting inside the Ds, it is shielded from the electric field and only magnetic field is present. Because of this magnetic field only these charge particles are moving. We already studied that when a charge particles are moving in a uniform magnetic field, it is taking a circular path. So in this case also it is shielded from the electric field and it is moving under the influence of a magnetic field. So it is taking a semicircular path like this way and it is moving in a complete circular path when it is traveling through this both this Ds, D1 and D2 and acquiring sufficient amount of energy. So let us see how this is working. So this is source, S is representing the source. When the source is emitting these positively charged particles, because of this we can see that Ds, D1 are connected to a high voltage rectifier, that means oscillator which is providing high voltage oscillator which is providing electric field. At an instant, initially we can say that this D2 is considered as negatively charged. That means a negative potential and D1 is considered as a positive potential. So this positive charge particle is initially getting inside this D2 only, and once it is getting inside this D2, so it is completely shielded from this electric field and only there is a magnetic field is present. Because of this magnetic field it is moving in a semicircular path and once it is completing its trajectory, it is coming out of this D2. D is D2. At the same time, when it is coming out of this trajectory, you can see that the polarity of the Ds are also getting reversed. Now, D1 becomes negatively charged and D2 becomes positively charged. So, this charged particle, positively charged particle is now getting inside this D1 and here also once it is getting inside this Ds, it is completely shielded from this electric field and only there is a magnetic field is present and because of this magnetic field it is moving in a semicircular path inside this Ds. So this is the way it is completing its trajectory and this process will be continuing till this is reaching to the periphery of this device and acquiring sufficient amount of energy. And now it is getting deflected from this path and coming out through a small window which is provided on this Ds and hitting on a particular target. So after acquiring the sufficient amount of energy. So this is a way only this is used as a particle accelerator. So we have seen that once it is getting inside the disc, it is moving in a semicircular path because only magnetic field is present. So there is a force is experiencing, magnetic force only experiencing on this charge particle. And the value of this magnetic force, we know that Fm is equal to what is that Q into V cross V. So we can mention as a QVB. So theta is considered as a 90 degrees. So force experiencing is considered as a QVB. Because of this force only, these particles are moving in a semicircular path. You know, any particle is moving in a circular path, centripetal force is necessary. This centripetal force is provided by this magnetic force only. So centripetal force is given by, we know that if R is the radius, then mv square divided by R is the necessary centripetal force required for the particles which are moving in a semicircular or moving in a circular path. So this centripetal force is provided by this magnetic force. So we can mention this equation as a QVB is equal to mv square divided by R. So we can cancel V from both this side. So the equation becomes R is equal to, you can see that R is equal to mv divided by qv. So this is the radius of this circular path which is taken by this charge particle which is moving inside this disc. R is equal to mv divided by qv. If we know the radius of this circular path, we can calculate the time period. Time period we can calculate. Time period for one complete revolution. So t is equal to, time period t is equal to what is the distance divided by velocity only. So distance divided by velocity means in this case 2 pi r divided by v. So we can representing our time period as a t is equal to 2 pi r divided by v. So we can substitute value of r on this equation. So t is equal to 2 pi r, that means mv divided by qv, mv divided by qv, and the velocity also we can substitute. So our equation becomes 2 pi m divided by qv. So this is the value for a time period of these particles which is moving in a circular path, complete path. We can see that t is equal to 2 pi m divided by qv. If we know the time period, we can calculate the frequency of this cyclotron. So the frequency of this cyclotron frequency is given by nu is equal to 1 by t. That means reciprocal of this time period. That means it should be qb divided by 2 pi m. So this is the frequency of this cyclotron we can calculate. That is known as the cyclotron frequency. You can see that it is remains as constant. Q is a charge, B is a magnetic field, and m is a mass of this charge particle which is moving. That means cyclotron frequencies remains as a constant only. And we can calculate energy acquired by this charge particles which is moving in a circular path. So energy is given by E is equal to half mv square. So V value we can calculate. R is equal to, we already know that, mv divided by qb only. R is, we are getting from this value mv divided by qb. So we can calculate the value of v, velocity is equal to what is that? qbr divided by m. So this is the value of velocity, we can say that qbr divided by m. So we can substitute this velocity on this equation. Energy E is given by half into m into qbr divided by m all square. So if you are simplifying this equation, our equation becomes, you can see that m square here it is cancelled, so it should be q square b square r square divided by 2m. So this is the energy acquired by this charge particles which are moving in a circular path. So this way energy is acquired by this maximum amount of energy is acquired by these charge particles, and particles are getting accelerated by this one in the case of a cyclotron. So cyclotron is used as a particle accelerator.